Okay. Processes. I have to remember the processes. Did you, were you able to view the first, in this series?
I was not. Is it recorded somewhere?
It is recorded and it's on Facebook Live as well, so I'm gonna post that out,
Cool.
as well. So hi, everybody. We're gonna start in just a minute. We are on Facebook Live as well, and what I wanted to do was make sure that I share this link out to some other groups that may be interested in what's going on. Just a little bit about me. My name is Julia Gambale. I am the entrepreneur in residence here at the New Haven Free Public Library. I'm here for 10 months, so until the end of June 2022. I have office hours, which you can find on the New Haven Free Public Library website. So if you go to nhfpl.org and then click over to, I believe it's for you. Actually, I'll show you how that works when I share my screen. All right, I'm just waiting to share the Facebook link.
Okay, it's on Facebook now.
Awesome, that's perfect. Thank you. So this is the second in the series, and this particular series is specific to holiday advertising for the holidays. So I am going to share, I'm going to share it to a couple of groups and then I'll get started for sure. So I am a business owner and a consultant by trade. I've had my own business for 12 years. She's So Social, and then I partnered with a branding partner, and his name is Mason Rabinowitz, and the name of that company is Agent Branding. I have a live stream of which I have 60 episodes, and you can actually see that on nhvgnome.com if you go to Gnome Live, and it's digital media sync. I'm looking to share this to a couple of groups. There we go.
And anyone who's watching on Facebook, I'm a librarian here. I'm watching the Facebook chat. If you post any questions, I'll be happy to read them off.
And same for Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If you want.
I'm watching both. My name is Rose. I'm off screen.
Rose also has an awesome mask with kitty cats on them.
I made it.
Oh, I want that mask. Also, the other thing that I'm going to share out eventually is the first in this series. So there's 3 episodes, so to speak. The first one was just generally talking about marketing in general, what a schedule and calendar looks like for the holiday sales period, a kind of checklist and calendar of sorts. And so that's on Facebook, on the Facebook page still, because they save those videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sharing to one more group. Today, we're actually going to be talking more on the advertising side, but I'm going to do a little bit of prep as far as like what calendarization looks like for doing your holiday sales. I'm also open to any questions that you have. I wanted to kind of show what it looks like to advertise on Facebook and Instagram, and also to have a shop on Facebook and Instagram, and then going over to what it would look like for Google advertising as well. I actually have a digital media sync episode that, oops. Are we recording as well?
Yep.
Oh, can you let me share my screen?
Yeah. Co-host.
Oh, sweet. Okay. And now I'm going to share my screen. And it's going to show me on Facebook. That's going to look really kind of funny. Shut this down. This down. So there's a couple of links that I'm going to share over into the Zoom chat. One of them is a Facebook guide, and this particular guide did say it's a 2020 guide to the holidays, but I would say go ahead and utilize this guide for 2021 as well. So I'm screen sharing and I'm going to, and then can you pick it up from the chat and then pull it over into Facebook? The other item that I'm going to share is the Instagram holiday advertising ad. I like advertising via Instagram because it is, when you're talking about advertising products, it is so very visual. Instagram has really kind of also pulled ahead from utilizing Pinterest as well. So I wanted to just show really quickly what it looks like to set up a campaign and what the Facebook for Business advertising guide for the holiday look like. And again, I know that this says holiday 2020 webinar. And also just let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. I can talk a little bit louder. I feel like I'm not talking as loud. Okay. So we're already in the middle of October right now. And one of the things that Facebook is saying, and that you'll see across the board basically, is in September and October, plan ahead and create demand. So that means getting customers excited about your business. This is something that I talked about last week as well. So this is, for some people, this is a little bit of a repeat or a refresh. Launching campaigns that reach new customers early, so in late September into October. I would definitely say if you are thinking about doing an advertising campaign for your retail location, for your online business, for anything that you're crafting or making, you want to start basically right now. So one of the things that we talk about when we're talking about advertising is there's something called per click or per impression cost. The difference between per impression and per click cost is per impression is how many times your potential customers may be able to see your ad, so what you're selling basically. Per click means that they actually clicked over to your website or your Etsy store or Shopify or whatever that is, and they've actually clicked. I prefer to base my budget on per clicks. So I've often talked about for smaller businesses and for self-employed people, makers, that sort of thing, that you can basically run an advertising campaign for $5 a day. And you can decide if you want that $5 a day to be weekdays only or throughout the week. And you can usually get a per click cost around 25 cents to 47 cents. And then you're really talking about kicking off your campaign by showing your brand names to as many relevant people as possible. So this is a quote from a small business owner who says, I want to reach people who are likely interested in my business and build my audience so that my brand is top of mind for them during the holiday season. So this is really talking about getting your brand out there before you even get any products out there. So some things to think about, and again, this was a little bit of a refresh from last week. Start early, get your tech ready, update your content on your site, make sure that you have your descriptions ready. Reduce friction, which means that from the moment that somebody sees your product all the way up to shipping and fulfillment. Okay, a little bit of background noise. I think that's going to stop. Be sure to create seasonal deals and packages. I want to talk about that a little bit. And this is specific to your advertising as well. We're going to talk about the types of ads that are available both on Facebook and Instagram and also Google advertising as well. But to make the sales process easy for your customers, when you create deals and packages, oftentimes you can do it by price, by type. So you'll often see, if it's for the Christmas type holidays or Kwanzaa or that sort of thing. You can say gifts for stocking stuffers or gifts that are less than $10 or gifts that are less than $25 or around the $50 to $100 range. Whether it's jewelry, handmade jewelry, embroidery, whatever that is. So making little packages. Somebody who really loves cats and you want to put a little gift package together where you have gloves and socks and earrings and a little pendant for a necklace. So start thinking about what that would look like for your advertising. I'm going to skip over, make sure you're top of mind with your existing customers because I'm going to be talking about this next week. We are going to be talking about email advertising and database. But you can also access the people who are very much like the people in your existing database by taking that database, whether it be in MailChimp or Constant Contact, however you utilize your email, and you can pull that information into Facebook, if you have a Facebook page, and you can start creating more potential customers based on the profiles of your existing customer. I am going to click on this particular one, find new people to reach with your audience, with your ad campaigns. So this is creating different audience segments with audience insight tools. So it shows you what that looks like specifically in Facebook. So some audience insights that can be used include people who like your business page. I'm going to ask right now that especially the people who are on Facebook, and Kate, I'm going to ask you too, do you have a Facebook page for your business? Because this is important information to have for any kind of advertising that's specific to Facebook. So page likes, followers, age, gender, top cities and countries, location that's hyper local as well. So within a storefront area, particular interest. So utilizing this for your Facebook and Instagram advertising, and all of that information is actually available in the insights portion of your Facebook page. So you can use your Facebook page, or this is saying business suite. I like to use business suite, the Facebook business suite, in order to grab all of my information that includes the insight. Cool.
And Kate said yes, have a page.
Yay. Okay, very good. And then do you sign in, and anybody who has a Facebook business page, the next question is, do you sign in via a business suite or do you sign in via your profile? So you can get insights, audience insights, either way. It's available to you in that manner.
So business, I think.
Okay, cool. So Facebook actually provides a sample campaign for you. So this is what I was talking about. You can actually build a lookalike audience based off of your past website visitors. This is another question, kind of like this is a checklist of things that you would need in Facebook in order to have a really solid Facebook advertising strategy. So if you have a Facebook pixel via your business suite, or if you've already done advertising campaign, you can pull in information that pertains to past website visitors or a large customer list. So a customer list can be pulled in, and then you can also use website interactions as well.
It also says, I don't use Instagram for advertising yet, so I'd love to see something on how to do this.
Yep, and I have believe this as well. So this is something over the Instagram. Here we go. So this is a really good resource. This is the complete guide to Instagram advertising for the holidays specifically. I'm going to post that in here. I'm going to grab some key components of this for you as well. And then you can read along. I'm just going to really quickly, because I do have some specific additional materials. And then I'm going to go right back to the flow over here. So this is where I'm talking about where some of these additional resources, video resources, where I talk about Instagram, Facebook, Google, Twitter. I've also found that advertising on Twitter is very cost effective, and it's very effective overall. So here are just some of the, so is Twitter still a good idea for business? That's one. Here's a quick guide to Instagram for business. So Kate and whomever else is out there who's interested in Instagram, this is a good link as well. Probably would have been easier if I preloaded. Okay, so there's that one. And then I also want to mention too that this is on Facebook Live. So Facebook Live saves all the videos anyways. I wasn't sure if it was being recorded or not. But we'll have this available. So if you're watching this later and you have questions, go ahead and ask those questions and I will answer as I see them. Okay. So we talked a little bit about audience targeting and how you can do that. So there's simple targeting that you can do, which basically you just check off lists that they give you. What's the age group you're looking at? What's the geographic area that you're looking at? What are some of the interests of your potential customers? The ad formats that they are recommending, and I also recommend, is either a video format or a slideshow format. Stories, carousel, and Instagram has kind of like a reels, quick little videos that are in the story section. So Instagram, Facebook, any of these social media platforms, when they have something that's newer that they're pushing out for their own purposes for people to use, when you advertise utilizing those newer formats, you actually get a better return on investment on that, get a lower pay-per-click cost because they're just happy you're using the new format. In Facebook and Instagram, there's no such thing as a text ad. So many of these ads are visual. One thing that I would like to recommend, and I recommended this in the first episode as well of this series, is to go ahead and, if you haven't already, try to get yourself an inexpensive little product light box. They're about this big, put across around, and you can take, you know, if you have smaller products, obviously, if you have bigger products, you're gonna need a little bit more. But one of the little kits, they're upwards of like on the high end, they're probably a couple of $100, but it's well worth it if you are working specifically with products like jewelry, um, you know, any small kind of object type of thing. And you don't have it really in your budget to have a photographer, but I would also consider looking at a product photographer as well to get some really good, high quality photos of your products that are well lit and so forth. Um, the other thing to think about, and I'm always worried about utilizing this particular formula. So it's saying take your average cost per conversion and multiply by 50 to get a good daily budget. And oftentimes this is not within one's budget. And usually what I would say instead is to do that kind of $5 per day per platform. So per platform also means that if you're utilizing Facebook and you're utilizing Instagram, that it's $5 a day per platform. And in the case of Facebook, make sure you have the Facebook pixel set up on your website so you can build an audience based on the website traffic that your campaign drives. Okay, so that's a little bit about how to utilize Facebook, and I'm gonna do this, and we're at 125, so we're good on 5. Okay, so the complete guide to Instagram advertising for the holidays. I love how any articles they give you how much of a read that is. Again, this goes through the type of ads that you have available to you for your holiday Instagram marketing. So you have singular photo ads. So those are image posts that can be targeted towards specific groups of users. So here, let's see. So a photo image ad, something like this. These are all just photo images. And they are already doing some gift posting. These are just regular posts, but you can take these posts and utilize them as your advertising as well. There's also video ads. So one of the things about Instagram video ads is that their limit is 60 seconds. I would actually do little 15-second or 30-second ads. I probably wouldn't even go to the full 60 seconds. So this is letting us know that in 2015, Bloomingdale's came up with an innovative way to fit 100 products into one brief interactive ad. So I believe that this is what it looks like. So it invited viewers to take a screenshot and see which collection they land on. So this is and then you would just stop. So that's just utilizing the video function in a creative way. And then they said take a screenshot, and it shows the gift ideas in that way. So one of the other things that I wanted to point out as well is a lot of people are going to be utilizing some of the, hundreds of thousands, holiday gifts, holiday gift guide, um, anything that has to do with holidays. This is 12 days of Christmas, 8 days of Hanukkah. So those are like the usual um, hashtags. But I would say, because especially on Instagram, you can use so many hashtags. I would say, in addition to utilizing the more popular hashtags, is to create hashtags that are particular to your brand. So in this case, Bloomingdale um, created the hashtag Bloomingdale. So that's something to take into consideration. And that's something that I tell my clients all the time anyways. Go ahead and utilize the hashtags that are the popular hashtags, but then also create hashtags that are branded specifically to you so that that starts getting pushed out. And especially if people are going to be sharing, it is possible to share on Instagram. So the usual um, way to share on Instagram would be to share in a message or a chat or that sort of thing. But there are um, tools that can be used, and one of them is called Regran. It's Regran. I'm going to put it in here. It's an app. And that can be utilized to reshare from, say, your business page to a personal page. Okay, carousel ads. Carousel ads are actually one of my favorite form of ads, because you can just, when you have your mobile device, you can just swipe through and move through products or images very easily. And I'm sure you've seen what carousel ads like. Again, this particular brand right here actually utilized a carousel ad to create kind of a brochure look. But you could also use carousel ads to have individualized components or products, or even products and then maybe like some quotes or that. There's also, I love that there's the capability to utilize story ads, because again, stories is a feature that is quite often and pushed very hard by Instagram. We've all kind of like scrolled through stories, they scroll through themselves. So in this case, it's saying over 400 million people use Instagram stories. It's the photos or video that disappear after 24 hours, and a brand can reach people in stories with their own ads, just like a regular in-feed ad. It will fit natively into the story streams and include a small sponsored disclaimer. The other thing about Instagram is the difference between any sort of ad and a regular Instagram post is that you can actually click on a link. The only place in the Instagram post where you can click on a link is actually to go to the bio or the profile. So oftentimes you'll have to use the term link in bio. That is not necessary when you're doing the actual advertising. So this is an example. I always use large organizations for examples when oftentimes we're talking to smaller companies or individuals who are makers. So the Virginia Holidays Airline, for example, uses Instagram story ads to generate awareness for its different destinations and drive conversion online and in store. So this is also where in the stories, you get a little bit of a different flavor as well, where you're using humor, fun. It's, kind of different than kind of like just a very formal type of ad. It's very informal for communication. Okay, and then I'm going to click over to the Instagram advertising page. So I'm going to put that link in the chat for Zoom, and then that will make sure that this also shows up in the Facebook page as well. So Instagram does have this whole component. It shows you how to create your image ads, your video ads, what the specifications are. What type of files to use, what primary text looks like, your headline, and your product descriptions as well. So as you can see here, how the ad looks very different from an organic post. You always have your call to action button over here. That makes a big difference. And then you can create an actual ad. Also a point, all your ads are being created in your Facebook Ads Manager. So Facebook creates both Facebook ads, Instagram ads. You can see right here, brand awareness, campaign objective, and then you can kind of walk through it as well. And right here is catalog sales. So this is actually if you have products that are in Facebook and the shopping area of Facebook or the shopping area of Instagram as well. So I don't know if anybody utilizes that at all, and kind of give an idea of what that looks like a little bit later. So you can utilize the boost function in Instagram in the same way that you use the boost function for well. So if you already have a post, you like the way it looks, and you just want to create a campaign for a certain number of days, you can do that. Ad Managers also allows you to build multi-platform campaigns. So this is across Instagram, Facebook, and now there's WhatsApp available. So this is just what this looks like. I was trying to move my screen. So this shows what a carousel would, also what a video would look like. So that's what's available as well. And if anybody has any questions as I'm moving along, just let me know. Looking it back out. Yeah, this is slow. So I want to make sure this is a really good article as well that talks about holiday ideas. I'm going to post this. And if you want to get kind of even more hints or help in a direction and a plan or a campaign, I do have office hours as entrepreneur in residence. I can do that either right here in the library. We would all both be masked. If it's a nice day out, I like having my meetings out on the patio here at the library. But my office hours are Tuesdays from 11:30 to 1:30. On Thursdays, I'm here from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. So I try to get at least one evening in for people. And then on Fridays, I'm here from 2 to 4.
I put the link for how to sign up for office hours in the chat.
Great, perfect. Kate, do you have any other questions about Instagram before I move on? Or anybody? Anybody? I just know I see Kate's name. I don't see anybody else's name. I don't see anybody. Oh, good. Okay, cool. So hopefully those links will help you. So here are 3 components that are provided from the perspective of what a potential holiday campaign looks like. So you have your on-brand social media stories, and it's saying to pick a platform and a message. Stories has been one of, wherever they are, whether they're Instagram stories or Facebook stories. There's a story component in Twitter as well, and I can't remember what it's called at the moment because Twitter has caught on to that. So saying that stories are popular for a simple reason. They allow us to tell our stories and share our experiences in creative ways. If they're not reposted, stories disappear after 24 hours. So this keeps users curious and engaged at the same time. So stories are often quick little snippets. You can do multiple stories at a time and kind of build up different components. You can also utilize in stories, whether it you can do a poll, you can put images on top of images, graphic images. You can use hashtags, you can use a little location. So you can really have a lot of fun with stories. You can also use filters to create, be more creative. So marketers use them to showcase their products through fun educational content, interactive tools, which I just mentioned, or even short how-to clips. So how do you use a product? How I know that we've been using things called unboxing videos for a long time. So having a package and then opening it up and showing what the product features are, that thing. So it says you could say stories are a new type of digital shop window. You get to see the product in action as well as the person behind the counter. That's interesting too, because understanding who the players are going to be, if you as the business owner or the solopreneur who has particular products, if you're going to be the face of the campaign as you are showing the product. Because people want to see the human side of your business, so use stories to review. So it's saying you just pick a platform message, which platform works best for your audience. So it could be Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It doesn't show Twitter, but Twitter is also an option as well. I want to ask everybody too, how comfortable are you with your brand identity? Um, and do you know what that actually means? So that means your logos, colors that you use often that connect with your brand. If you have a tagline, there's a certain look and feel, and you can stay very, very true to that brand identity and not um, venture away from it, or you can kind of play with the brand identity.
It says, no, thanks.
Oh, was that for brand identity or was that first question?
It says
Ah,
style guide, mostly comfortable, but struggle with identity in terms of voice and what content
yeah,
to share.
exactly, exactly. That's a difficult one. Um, and oftentimes when I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about that just a tiny bit. When it comes to voice, and especially during the holidays, I would say it's actually easier to kind of play with that a little bit, right? Because um, you always want it to be light and fun and kind of grab at the heartstrings, that sort of thing. So the voice is a little bit more fluid um, when you're talking about a campaign. And I'll look for a couple of articles as well to kind of speak on that. So some of the things that they talk about for holiday social media, and this may be a little stagnant as well because it's something that people always say to do, but oftentimes we'll forget. So one of the options is to actually go live and share a teaser for an upcoming product. I've seen people do that before, and it's really very engaging. It has an element of surprise to it. You're kind of scrolling through, and then all of a sudden somebody starts talking. Remind your followers about holiday deals and order deadlines. That's an important component as well. This is something that I talked about the previous episode, the first, when I was talking about an overall marketing campaign. So knowing what your shipping and fulfillment parameters are so that you can talk about what those deadlines may be. Create a poll to get feedback and resource crowdsource ideas. Share behind the scenes footage of your store. Show your audience your product creation product process or how you brainstorm ideas. And this part right here, this kind of the behind the scenes thing, this actually helps with the questions about what your voice is, because is your voice such that it's it's transparent, where it's like you really want to show where maybe where products are, the materials for products are sourced. That's something to talk about. The creation process, if you're coming up with a new way of doing things. So this is not an ad, this is an example of a poll, and it kind of interacts and engages. Do you want to see how our leggings are made? Um, I can't even read that because I'm so blind.
Let's see, the greenish text says, do you make leggings? 14%. The reddish
Oh.
is so exciting. Show me.
Show me. Yeah. So 86% said show me. So that's something that you're being given permission to talk about. Give a tour of your workstation, whether it's your dining room table, a study, your office, or other place that you work at. I've seen there's a few of my friends who are clothing designers, and I got to see kind of like the behind the scenes of what their workstations look like. Um, so that's a lot of fun. Collaborate with an influencer. This is something that I'm going to be bringing a guest over the next couple of months who is actually an influencer, but like not one of those influencers that have millions and millions, because there's influencers that are that pair very well with certain types of products, um, and you know they influencers come in all ages, sizes, so forth. So put together a story takeover, co-host giveaway, etc. Show people how you are preparing for the holiday festivities. Share gift ideas from your store with festive decorations. Create poster video of people receiving your products as holiday gifts. And this is again in the same vein as an influencer, but just people who have invite people who have received gifts before or um, are making a purchase and have them talk about what their experiences are. Definitely utilizing hashtags. So here is the ultimate guide to Instagram hashtags. I'm going to post this. And then I'm going to get the chat out of the way. Okay, how comfortable are our people out there with doing video content? So video content is, I think there's an answer.
It says pretty good.
Okay, cool. Again, creating a campaign that's specific to the holidays. So this is saying that a study from Mention reveals that people engage with Instagram feed videos more than image carousel. So similarly, Facebook videos are also known to be better for driving views and engagement than photos. And the other thing too that I really like about Facebook and Instagram is that they set videos in a specific area for people to. So I know when I'm doing, I do a lot of live streams for my own business for Digital Media Sync. I've done over 60 of them now. You can find all of those videos on my page and in my group as well. So as long as I'm sharing them, you can see those videos. Videos can take a little longer to prepare, but quality storytelling and attention to detail will pay off and bring more store visits. And when they're saying store visits, I'm thinking of it both as their retail location and also as their online store. This is just talking about hard selling, a creative story. I'm looking at the time too. I didn't realize it's a lot of information. One of the things about video that I can admit that I am not 100% comfortable with and always ask for help is actually video editing. So while I do live streaming, and what you see is what you get, when you're doing a particular marketing campaign and you're doing editing, um, I'm always looking for tools. So this is actually providing a few different options. YouTube, actually, I don't know if any of you utilize YouTube for their short reels or at all, but YouTube has a really nice video editing suite that's free. You can utilize it right in the channel. One of these days, I think I'll do a digital media sync that's directly about to video editing. So this is providing free options to take a look at, Lumen 5, Place It, and Gesto. Okay, more and more people are doing their purchasing on smartphones. So whatever you're doing, this is talking specifically about video, but I've noticed that even sites, particularly product e-commerce sites that are lovely on a laptop and say that they translate throughout do not do well on mobile. The other thing to think about is subtitling or captioning your video. So captions are also a vital accessibility tool. I know in my business, I talk a lot about accessibility. So it's great to have photos, but also describing what your products are as well, so that people can read, vice versa. So these are tools that you can use to create videos, titles. Movavi, Subtitle Edit, Windows Movie Maker, and they're actually saying TikTok as well. This is a section, we got like 5 minutes, that talks about personalized advertising, but really very important. So utilizing social media targeting, this is something that a lot of people don't take advantage of when they're doing their Facebook, Instagram, all advertising, all social media platforms utilize retargeting. So basically what that means is somebody has seen ad, went to the website, or went to the website, they're put in a category in Facebook. That's where you see your audience insights. So whether you're on Facebook or Instagram, Google or Twitter, you have audience insights available to you. And then you can target to those specific audiences. So you just pare down your message, hone in on your message, focus your message on those audiences specifically with the retargeting ads. And it provides for oh yeah. You have a top 3 things that a small business could focus on this holiday. Yeah, yeah. This is yep. I'll get to that, but yeah, that's basically what we're saying. Um, so I would say I'll get to the top 3 things for sure. Cross-sell or upsell your existing customers. I think this goes in the top 3 area, right? So if you have existing customers already, if you have a database, and this is something that again I'm going to talk about in the next video that we do, is to always communicate and build relationships around your existing customer. If you know what they want and what they're looking for, building a campaign around that. When we're talking about advertising, oftentimes we're talking about new customers, customers that have not come to you before, or we're just reminding customers that haven't been back in quite a while and they're just coming for the holiday season. So if there was a top 3, that kind of retargeting is definitely part of it. And having that communications relationship with your existing customer. The other thing about advertising, and this is where people think that it's expensive, is because they don't really think about geo-targeting or hyper locality, right? You just need to get in touch with people in a certain geographic area. You don't really have to blanket, um, the whole world. So each of these, I want to answer your question, Kate, because I think it's a really good wrap up as well. Each of these articles that I've chosen as we're talking about how to market specifically for the holidays, but it's good advice overall, is utilizing the space to tell an engaging story, right? So one of the things that was mentioned in this particular article was don't go in for the hard sell. The the component that's going to work here is because everybody is online is to know who your target audience is, who you want to sell to, understand what your voice is. And I know that that's something that you've said and people have said is difficult. How do I find my voice? How am I communicating? And really understanding what your overarching brand is. Like, yes, you have products perhaps or services, but what is your how does your core belief come through in your brand? So whatever you decide to do for your holiday marketing campaign, keep your customers in mind as long as you know your customer base, right? So a lot of this is talking about knowing who your customer base is and how to engage with them. And sometimes, the answer is not a very precise recipe, right? It's a little bit of trial and error. What are the things that you are doing? So top 3 things. The second thing would be to utilize stories to have that conversation. What do you want me to talk to you about? What do you want to know about the product? How does what I have to offer serve you and your purposes? You can have the first component of your campaign be an actual conversation with your potential customers. So hopefully that answers your question. I think one of the, this is talking about get your holiday sale visuals, building out a library of visual components. What is that going to look like, right? How do you dress up what you're selling? And in the case of not making an assumption that everybody is selling products, but how do you dress up your product, or how do you dress up what the services look like from the perspective of how you are talking in the holiday season. All right, so we actually hit 2:01.
Yep, it's 2 o'clock.
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up this portion of actually utilizing the visuals and just ask really quickly if there are any other questions that you'd like to ask over the next couple of minutes, and if not, I'll just close out this particular session.
If anyone thinks of anything later, there's always the next one. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so thank you so much. The third in this series is going to talk specifically about email marketing campaign during the holiday sales season. So hopefully you'll join me then. And again, if you have any further questions, you can either make an appointment from my Calendly, go to the Facebook video and ask there, or just give us a call. I don't know. So, okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.